Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, and I do so by Hashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. That's all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Father in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, the Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Alright, we're gonna, in a sense, tone up on our people, repenting. What's the requirements? What are the things that we have to do as a people in order for us to come back to our God? We have to acknowledge the things that we got going on in our life, and we have to turn from that shit. We have to find ourselves and separate ourselves. First, find yourself. Find out your position. Find out what you really want with yourself. And then separate yourself from everything and all the ideologies and all the mythologies and everything that you've been indoctrinated with. And come back to who you really are as a people, because we've been so detached from who we are that we as a people, we call ourselves all kind of words, as the curses say. Hey, brother, you believe in the Bible? Not really? Yeah, you need 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. 2 Chronicles 7 and 14.
2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face.
First, we have to humble ourselves. What comes with you actually acknowledging who you are and you actually being able to adhere to what we're trying to give you, that's more finer than the finest honey, that is more spiritual and more hydrating than water itself. We're trying to give you the spiritual waters, as Christ said. We're trying to give you the ability to understand who you are and understand the severity of your nationality and your people and your ethnic group and your history. So first, before you even get to know anything, you have to humble yourself and forget and stop dealing with everything that you think you may know about the Bible or everything that you think you may know about God. Because if you don't humble yourself and if you don't come in a humble spirit, then you will find yourself contradicting and clashing with the very things that our Father ordained for us. Go ahead.
And turn from their wicked ways.
So first, these are some of the two biggest things our people have a problem with. Some of the two biggest things. One, nobody likes to be humble. Nobody likes to humble themselves, especially if you're talking to young niggas. If you're talking to young niggas and you're more up there in age, you're not necessarily gonna wanna humble yourself because you feel, because you have more experience, then you have the upper hand on us, not realizing that, hey, as Psalm says, out of the mouth of babes is strength, is strength perfected. I believe that's how it goes. We can go to that in a second. But Psalms 2 and 8. No, not Psalms 2 and 8. But we as a people have to understand that our responsibility is to not neglect the truth, humble ourselves, and come back to who we are and turn from the actions that we do day in and day out on a daily basis. If we don't do that and we continuously live our life doing whatever the fuck we want to do, we're going to find ourselves being part of the ground whenever the intercontinental ballistic missiles hit this damn place.
That's right.
Keep reading.
And turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin.
So then he will hear us and he will deal with us. Only then will he actually adhere to Isaiah 59. Only then will he finally adhere to us, deal with us, and turn our captivity as a nation and as a people. Yes, you know, a lot of us can repent and come back, but he's looking for a certain percentage of people, because everybody's not gonna get this. Everybody's not gonna understand. Everybody's not gonna be willing to actually make that big change for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So they're gonna find themselves, like I said, being a part of the concrete in the lake of fire. Go ahead and read that.
This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hands is not shortened, that it cannot save.
Now the Lord is not in a position where he can't do anything for you or he can't be there for you. He's not in a position where he can't turn whatever little tribulation that you got going on in your life or that you're having to deal with in this period of time. He's not in a position where he can't do anything for you. But there's certain things that he requires of you and certain things that he wants you to do in order for you to actually get that assistance from him. Keep reading.
Neither his ears heavy, that it cannot hear.
A lot of our families, a lot of our brothers, our sisters, we cry when we look at the things that we're going through on a day-to-day basis. We cry when we hear our friends, our family members going through certain things that we could not see ourselves going through. The baby died, or my son died, my grandson died, but it was his birthday and he just so happened to choke on a fucking chicken wing. Well, the pastor died. The Lord will put you through all kinds of things, and he will place judgment on you if you do not come back to him and if you do not adhere to him. But he's not in a position where he can't actually reach his hand out and actually be there for you. But you're so caught up in religion, and you're so caught up in that white Jesus trying to save you, that you don't realize that the God that looks just like you is trying to save you and help you as a nation. Not just one of us. The Lord ain't just dealing with this person or only that person. We have to be responsible for each other as a whole and hold ourselves responsible. But what comes with that is us realizing that the only way that our Father can hear us and actually do for us is if we actually come back to his laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep reading.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your God.
But the sins and you transgressing the law and you not adhering to the code of conduct that he's given us by the hand of Moses is proof that the Father is not dealing with us. Because we find ourselves going through all kinds of things, and no matter how much we call on God, that's why we have the curses. No matter how much we find ourselves calling on God, we just can't seem to get in a better position as a people. Why? Because we break the law, we do what we want to do, and nobody can't tell us nothing. Nobody can't tell me a damn thing. Give me Proverbs 24 and 7. Might be 24 and 6. But nobody can tell me nothing. If you come to me with some logical reasoning that you can back up with the Bible, but it's gonna require me to actually stop doing certain things that I want to do, then I'm not gonna deal with it. It's gonna be hard for me. We have that defeatist mentality where we feel as if we can't do certain things, not realizing that if we actually believe in Christ, we have to believe on him and understand that through him we can do anything and everything. Plain and simple. Go ahead and get that. What's up, brother? You believe in the Bible? I got you, bro.
This is Proverbs chapter 24, verse 5. A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength.
A man of knowledge, a man of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. How do we get that? By keeping the law. A man who keeps the law and gets wisdom, knowledge, and understanding through the law, he increases in strength. You have to realize that it's not just rules and regulations, it's you trying to serve your God and you trying to show your God that you actually love him through your actions. So if we actually do these things, we're going to increase in strength. Keep reading.
For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. Wisdom is too high for a fool.
Wisdom is too high for a fool. A lot of us, we're acting like fools. We're acting like fools. We're being foolish. You gotta understand, being foolish is not always you just being goofy. Being foolish is knowing what's right, but looking for any and every excuse not to do what is right. Plain and simple. Being foolish is you going the left way, turning to the left, when turning to the right is the most beneficial thing for you and your people. That's foolish. You don't always gotta look like a clown and be goofy and all. That's not always foolish. But we found ourselves acting how we act and just operating how we want to operate, which proves to be that we are foolish because we're not doing anything beneficial to our people.
That's right.
Plain and simple. No matter how much you want to do for the community, no matter how much you want to, love and, pass out food and pass out coats and this, no matter how much you want to do any of that, no matter what, you keeping the commandments will be a greater impact on your community and your people that you will never comprehend or understand. As Christ said, you have to let your light shine. We as a people have to realize that our light needs to shine. And in order for our light to shine, we have to keep the commandments so our people can see us doing these things and then realize maybe that's the best thing for me. Because a time is coming when the Lord is going to send people that's going to kill, that's going to rescue, that's going to be there for us who are keeping the commandments. He's going to send for people that's going to slaughter. Give me Ezekiel 9. Give me Ezekiel 9 and start at 1. Yeah, Ezekiel 9 and start at 1. We're going to read that. We're going to read that. Because y'all keep thinking that I'm just gonna live my life by faith. I'm just gonna live my life how I wanna live it. I'm just gonna do whatever I wanna do. And my God's gonna accept me at the end of the day because I know and I have faith that he loves me. Y'all gotta understand we have the most bloodiest God. We have the most warrior mentality God. I mean, at the end of the day, look at everything that David did. How many people he fought against. Jumping over freaking fences, walls. Pushing people off cliffs. Look at Samson, killing hundreds of people with a jawbone. But when you look at David, the Lord said David is a man after his own heart, and he warred. He was a bloody brother, and he loved his God. We as a people have to understand that our God is a bloody God, a bloody and loving God. If you on the right side, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to nurture you. I'm going to take care of you no matter what, regardless of anything. It don't matter how much money you got in your bank account. It don't matter how much enemies you have around you. I'm going to protect you. But if you want to go to the left-hand side, you're going to realize the Lord is going to send people that's going to come and kill your ass. He's going to send people that's going to come and take you and slaughter you, or even just kill you where you are. Go ahead and read that.
Isaiah chapter 9, Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 1. He cried also in my ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand.
So here's the Lord calling for, I believe this is the celestial beings. He's calling for the celestial beings to come with their destroying weapon. And he's going to do something. What is he gonna do? Keep reading.
2. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand.
6 men came with a slaughter weapon in their hand, ready to do some damage, ready to do the work of the Lord. Keep reading.
And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the God of Israel was going up
now,
to the church.
Now this writer with the inkhorn, it's putting emphasis on him because it's separating him from everybody else. This writer with the inkhorn, you have to realize that he's about to really do some damage. He's about to carry out the commandment of the Lord. And the things that the Lord is about to command him to do, 99% of Christians do not agree with how the Lord operates in this scenario. They do not agree that the Lord is going to do this, the Lord is going to do that. They do not agree that the Lord is a bloodthirsty God. When I say bloodthirsty, he loves the smell of sacrifices. Does that mean does he literally drink? No, he doesn't literally drink blood, but he loves war. Keep reading.
Whereupon was to the threshold of the house, and he
So,
called.
bro, you believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Let me show you something real quick. Keep reading.
And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side.
Now we're gonna give a specific commandment to the writer with the inkhorn. Keep reading.
And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
See, now Ecclesiastes 1:9 says there's nothing new under the sun. As wicked as we are being now, we was as wicked as we was in the past, in the times of antiquity. The amount of wickedness that we're doing now is the same as back then. We're the same wicked ass people. But there's a certain amount of people that's crying and that's sighing because they see the conditions and they see the things that their people are doing, and they see the problems that's going on in their communities. All right, brother. And they see the problems that's going on in their communities. But we believe in the seven visions and the seven realms and all this other shit.
How is that?
Yeah, he's all over the place. Yeah, I had a whole dialogue with this brother, and he's one of them. But there's a certain percentage of people that's crying because we find ourselves continuously doing the very same thing that's pulling death on ourselves, pulling death on our families. So what the Lord says, set a mark upon them. Set a mark upon them that sigh and cry because of the things that their people are doing, right, and the things that's going on within their people and that's being done to them people as a result of their actions. Keep reading.
And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children.
Now, this is the Lord our God. The people that have the mark, don't touch them. The people that have the mark, that sigh and cry because of the things that's going on with our people and amongst our people, don't touch them. That's why they get that mark. But everybody else, slaughter them. Kill young, kill old, kill all of them. Slaughter them. This God, see, now I know a lot of Christians will say, not my God. My God don't kill babies. My God don't kill kids. My God don't do that. Not realizing that the Lord had 2 she-bears come out and slaughter kids for mocking Elijah.
Crazy.
Which is crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. But y'all gotta understand that this concept that y'all have of God is completely false. We have to adhere to God as the Bible describes him and as the things that he commands, even if they are bloody. Even if he does command certain things out of people that may seem like a bloodbath. He wants that because he wants us as a people to be corrected and to stand on business when it comes to him. Keep reading. Keep reading.
And women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary.
Begin at my sanctuary. He's gonna start with us. And if you read Zechariah, he's gonna start with the tribe of Judah first. If I'm not mistaken. You're gonna start with the southern kingdom first, the tribe of Judah. I think that's Zechariah 12 and 7. But he's gonna start with us first whenever it comes to slaughtering and correcting us. Because a lot of us, we need to be slaughtered, we need to be killed because we're hard-headed. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I don't give a damn what now nigga gotta say. I'm gonna take care of me and myself. I don't care that nigga got his ass jumped by 4 or 5 white people. I gotta take care of me. We as a people need to find ourselves in a fucked up position, losing our life because we are hard-headed. Nobody can correct me. Nobody can't tell me how to live my life. Nobody can't tell me how to act in my life. They don't know me. When all of that is the love of God. But these are the very same people that's gonna have to get slaughtered. Whether you like it, whether you accept it, believe it or not. Keep reading.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And he went forth and slew in the city. And it came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, O Lord God, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem?
Now this is the prophet Ezekiel asking, Lord, are you gonna kill everybody? Are you gonna kill all of us? Because It's unfortunate, but that's the amount of wickedness that's amongst us as a people. It's gonna, hey, as Zechariah 13 and Isaiah 65, a certain percentage of us has to get killed. And unfortunately, it's the majority of us that has to get slaughtered and killed, because the majority of us are too caught up in our ways. So here's Ezekiel asking, Lord, are you gonna kill everybody? Are you gonna kill all of them? Are you gonna kill all of your people? That's what it has to happen. He has to kill off the majority of us, and he has to lay that judgment upon us in order for us to actually get out of this place. Give me go to Matthew 22 and 1. Go to Matthew 22 and 1, because this is exactly why we are commanded by Christ to actually come out, spread the gospel to our people, spread the word, spread the message, spread the warning, and condemn those who actually need to be condemned. We as a people, we have to come out here and let our people know what they have to do. But we're gonna go into the parable first.
This is Matthew chapter 22, verse 1. And Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. And
now, a certain king which made a marriage for his son. I'm pretty sure if you have ears to hear and eyes to see, I'm pretty sure you would know that that certain king is Yahweh and made a marriage for his son, the son being Yahweh Shai. Because as you read in the Bible, in the Gospels, the nation of Israel is likened unto a bride for Christ with his second coming. When he comes, we have to be prepared. We have to be taken care of. We have to be refined in order for us to actually be the bride that we're supposed to be for our king. I think it's Hosea 2 and 16 where it says, you shall no more call me Ishi. Give me Hosea 2 and 16. Hold that real quick. Give me Hosea 2 and 16. You shall no more call me Ishi or Balis. It's something like that. I want to go ahead and get this real quick on that point. Hosea 2 and 16. Dose and 16. What's up, brother? You believe in the Bible? You want to have a conversation real quick? Alright, you can go ahead and drop that. When it comes to the Bible and the things that we see on these signs, have you ever wondered or even asked a question like, what will God do? Looking at the history that we have and all the bloodshed that happened and that soaks in the soil, have you ever asked like what's gonna happen as a result because of these bodies being put in the ground? You ever asked that? Like why God did that, why God put us through that, why is it that everybody wants to sweep their history under a rug?
It's the judgment.
Hey, all praise. You're right, it's the judgment. Because we as a people, we don't understand that. I always use this analogy. As a father loves his son. You got kids? Alright, if you had a son or a daughter and you saw your son or your daughter breaking your rules that you want them to follow so that they can positively reflect you when they're out in the world. If you see them breaking those rules and regulations, would you chastise them?
Yeah.
Of course, because they represent you. And you don't want them to act like a fool and then think about, is that such and such son? Mm-hmm. Oh damn. Yeah. Because they're gonna look at you and how you raise them up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Give me Deuteronomy 28 and give me 15. Because all of this really happened to us because we as a people, first, when we came over on the slave ships, they took our heritage from us. They took our nationality from us. Yeah. We didn't know who we was, and they started calling us by different names. Yeah. They started calling us by different names, different titles. They made us speak their language.
Also called division too. Yeah.
When it comes to division amongst us, that's the result of the Willie Lynch letter. But go ahead and get that point.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
If we don't adhere to the commandments and the rules that our Father gave to us by the hand of Moses, because the covenant is pretty much a promise. It's an oath.
Yeah.
There's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
If you do what's right, I'm gonna bless you.
Exactly.
If you do what's wrong, I'm gonna chastise your ass. I'm gonna get on you.
Yeah.
We broke the commandments, and the result of us breaking the commandments, he gave us curses that's gonna plague our community no matter what until the end of time. Until we realize who we are and come back to our God and not religion.
That's right.
Give me
Well, I got one thing to say.
no problem.
If it wasn't for all the curses or whatever, we supposed to have our bloodline lineage that comes from Moses and all the important people that is followers of God, right? So that's how we lost our way. Some of us have that gift and things that of connection with the Heavenly Father outside of the curse. I mean, some of it might skip certain generations, but you got some that got the bloodline of what Moses did, or probably went through some similarity of that.
When it comes to the Bible refers to it as regeneration. When it comes to regeneration, we are our forefathers. So we still have that same spirit that we had in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Before we lived.
Yeah.
We're those very same people.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read Deuteronomy 28 and let me get 37.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations.
Now, from 15, I'm gonna show you from 15 all the way, because it's a laundry list of just curses that plague us. Let me show you. From 28 and 15 all the way to 68 is a list of curses that's gonna be on us as a sign and also in a negative sense until we realize who we are, call to mind, and actually deal with the Bible and not in a religious perspective. Because a lot of us, when we look at the Bible, we think of Christianity.
Yeah.
We think of religion. Now realizing that the people of Christianity who created Christianity, they took concepts out of the Bible and appropriated it to themselves. Down, read that again, 28:37.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
A proverb and a byword. You want to know a popular proverb amongst our people?
What's that?
You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book.
Yeah.
That's a popular proverb amongst our community. It don't matter how young they may be, they know that proverb.
Yeah.
And also byword. Our real nationality, who we call ourselves, is gonna be taken away. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. Who we really are is gonna be taken away from us. And we're gonna call to mind in a whole nother land who we actually are as a people. That's why I'm gonna let him read that, and I'm gonna get one more to back that up. Because a lot of us, we call ourselves Black, African American. You'll line up 5 brothers and ask them what they are. You'll get 5 different answers.
Yeah.
Because we don't, a people with no identity will cling to any identity. That's why amongst our community, we're the #1 people that like to say, I embrace all cultures. I embrace all people. I embrace, everybody's, religion.
Yeah.
Because we're the only people that say, in every religion there's a little bit of truth in everything, so we take that and we create our own. We're the only people that do that because we don't know who we come from.
You know the crazy thing that I always said between the Black people? We go back and forth about what's most attractive, dark skin or light skin or brown skin. Like it's like division. Like what is like? Do they have anything that the agenda of why that started?
Give me 54. Now, when it comes to the light skin versus dark skin, have you ever heard of the Willie Lynch letter?
Yeah.
The Willie Lynch letter is actually a product of that. The slaves, they wasn't, acting right, so the masters, the slave masters, they wanted to find some kind of way to get their slaves to act right. This is why Christ said, Give me Matthew. I'm gonna get it.
Because I feel like we all beautiful, light skin, dark skin.
Exactly,
We all
you're right.
black.
You're right. You're right.
You can come in all, you know what I'm saying? Because like me, women, I don't choose which one is the sexiest, like brown skin or light skin or dark skin. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like all women are beautiful in different shades. You know what I'm saying? But it's division with some black people and might say, oh, I don't want to date her because she's too dark, she too light, and she too brown. You know what I'm saying? Like weird preference. Like we all black. Like I don't know. I seen attractive women in all shades. You know what I'm saying? Different shades, light skin, brown skin. You know.
What you got? Yeah, get that Jeremiah real quick. I'm gonna get something else.
And it's like we racist. Like that sounds like racist. You know what I mean?
That's gonna tie into this. First, get that Jeremiah 17, and then we're gonna go with that Deuteronomy 28, and we're gonna start at 54.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger.
Now this is the very same thing that happened. Because we rebelled against our God, because we fell off from who he was by following after other gods and following after other religions, the Lord took our heritage from us. And he caused us to go into other nations and serve other people. Now, get that Deuteronomy 28 when it comes to us hating each other. Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
Oh, the self-hate part.
Exactly.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54.
Now, this is 28. From 15 all the way to 68 is a list of curses that's going to plague us. Remember that. 54. This is a curse.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate,
Our brothers that are amongst us, that love each other, that are there for each other, keep reading.
his eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom.
So not only will our eyes be evil towards our brother, but our eyes will also be evil towards our wife. And that's why we have problems in the household. That's why we got men versus women, women versus men.
Battle of the sexes.
Exactly, battle of the sex. And that's not it.
Gender war,
That's not it. Keep reading.
And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
And he's also going to have hatred towards the remnant of his children, which he's going to lead. What is that? Single parent households. We found ourselves, that is when it comes to single parent households, that is the most popular stigmatized thing that's plagued us for so long.
All over the internet, they talking about the relationships of, man and woman is, dropping. People ain't really, there's no real connection or love going on.
At all.
It's like a business. Everybody.
We learning how to love from the devil. That's what happens. We learning how to love from our oppressors. That's their way to love.
And I wanted to get this real quick. I looked at Matthew 22, but come to find out it's in 12. There's the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse, I'm gonna start at 25. And Jesus knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. A people who's divided against themselves will not stand the test of time. They will always fight amongst each other. That's why we would look at, that's why he gave us the analogy of kingdoms, of houses. A kingdom that fights against each other is not going to stand because it's going to eat itself from the inside out.
You're right.
And not only that, but a lot of our people don't realize when it comes to love, we're so comfortable and we're so used to love just being accustomed to our feelings. Sometimes, most of the time when it comes to love is an action, and not only an action, but it's somebody also looking out for you. Give me Leviticus 19 and 17. When it comes to love, a lot of us, we find ourselves hard to deal with constructive criticism. We find ourselves, it's hard for us to be checked or corrected.
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So it's not necessarily about me hating you, but it's about me loving you because I want to correct you because I don't want you to go through things that I know is going to traumatically affect you. For example, that's a law. The Lord told us to keep the commandments. That is something that we're supposed to be doing amongst our people. That is one of the rules and regulations that our Father requires of us amongst our people. But we don't do that.
Exactly.
We don't do that.
What do you say about the philosophy that's spread about, you know, how they say nice guys finish last? You know, like the demeanor of, you know, just pushing out, you know, the narrative of, okay, everybody's supposed to be the bad guy. What's wrong with the nice guy? What's wrong with being nice? And I was talking to one of my homeboys. I was like, what's wrong with, you know, a person being nice? Like, yes, nice guys finish last. And, you know, society has got this narrative about people being nice. Because we living in an evil society. And my thing is, I said to my homeboy, I said, nice guys don't finish last. They the last ones standing.
Now, I got a scripture for you. There's the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe, you know what woe means? In the Bible, the term woe means destruction. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own heart. When it comes to people being nice, nobody likes anything that's genuine nowadays. You gotta look at what?
This is Sirach, chapter 7, verse 15. Hate not laborer's work, neither handredry, which the Most High hath ordained. Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long. You know, just like saying good guys finish last. It's like trying to compare yourself to people who probably got it in a worse way. And saying that, oh, they won't be punished. They're getting all this money, all the girls and the cars, but you don't know what's about to happen to them.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Give me Matthew 6. God and man. Get that real quick. Because you gotta look at what influences, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of our people, we don't, hey, you wanna hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. We don't like to research, we don't like to read, we don't like to do anything. We're rather gravitate to something that's more convenient and that's more attractive than actually critiquing myself, getting better, and actually being good to people. Because nowadays it's hard for people to be nice to other people.
Yeah.
It's easy to get angry and get mad at somebody, and those things are easy. But when it comes to like money, when it comes to financial gain, when it comes to people liking people that's just all gangster and all this and all that because they got money and because they're doing certain things that other people don't do, the Lord has a judgment for them. When we as a people find ourselves continuously, let's think it's Matthew 6 and 15. When we as a people find ourselves continuously seeking after money, that's why the Lord said in Matthew 6, you cannot serve God and mammon. You have to choose between the two. I'm gonna let you find it. I'm gonna read this real quick. There's the book of Psalms, chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So if you find yourself not necessarily walking with those people or dealing with those people, you're more so blessed because you actually see things for what they are and see people truly for who they are if they carry themselves a certain way and get certain things through a certain lifestyle or through a certain mentality. All those people, later down in life, a couple years down the line, they're gonna regret that. They're gonna regret that, and at the end of the day, it's unfortunate.
It's crazy. I can deal with people, but it's like I'm good at picking up anything. Like, you know, I done been through certain things growing up with being able to see certain things. And you might tell people like, how can you know, say that okay, even God will talk about, you know, everything that Moses and all these important people did at these certain time limits. Yeah. But now you won't even, you know, look at it like it's still people that around that still got a connection to God. You'll probably call them crazy or try to drug them up, or you can't tell people certain things because, you know, you're crazy or whatever. It's like denying the fact that you still got, you know, people that's still the children of God that's walking around here, but they'll deny that. The pastor will deny that.
When it comes to children, first of all, our pastors, they're not necessarily teaching us what's right in the first place. They're only teaching us what they get in seminary school. The religion Christianity, all of that, it stems from the Roman Catholic Church. There would not be no Christianity if it wasn't for the Roman Catholic Church.
Okay.
Because from the Roman Catholic Church branched out different denominations of Christianity.
Yeah.
That's how you got Baptist, that's how you got Presbyterian, that's why you got all these other denominations. They branched off from the religion of Christianity through Catholicism. Now, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this real quick. 1 John. When it comes to us actually knowing God, and when it comes to the children of God, we are the children of God. Not everybody. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans go back to the biblical Israelites. That's why we're the only people that's known by going through the transatlantic slave trade and being subject unto slavery, and our identities being taken from us. That's why in Deuteronomy 28, we're going to go back to that after we get these two scriptures, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when it comes to the transatlantic slave trade. That's also in the curses. Us being taken into slavery on ships.
Right.
That also go hand in hand with, you know, Native Americans. And,
exactly.
Black people, Hispanic and Dominicans, you know, scattered all over. We all, you know, skin of bronze, we all supposed to be so-called black. But it's racism amongst our people just as, you know, light skin, dark skin, and brown skin. And you got Dominican people say, oh, I'm not black. But then you got people, Cuban people, and they got shaded skin like you and I, like them. Oh, I'm not black.
You go ahead and get the scripture.
But
let me see if I have this book.
I see that
This is 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he hath not seen?
Now, that also boils down to a lot of us. Sometimes when you love your brother, you have to do certain things for your brother that you don't want to do. You have to realize that you have to love your brother like Christ loved us, plain and simple. But when it comes to actually knowing God, there's certain things that God requires of us in order for us to actually show that we actually know him. This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that said, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. The promise that he gave to us was if we keep the commandment, give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15. If we keep the commandments, we will live. If we break the commandments, we will die. He gave those the ability to choose. You're going to follow these other guys, and there's going to be people that's going to actually follow me.
That's why some of us don't make them see even 50 or 40.
It's judgment, because
whatever, like, you know, that if we die young, whereas, you know, biblical days where people live past 100 and everything else.
Exactly.
Right. You got that?
Okay. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Now, if we do what's right, he's going to bless us. He's going to give everything to us that we deserve, because we're showing him that we actually love him. We chose what's right. We didn't choose death. Let me Deuteronomy 10:12. I'm going to read this real quick. Now, love. A lot of us, we want to love God. We want to show God that we love him, but it all turns around to the very same thing. There's the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 6. 5 and verse 3. I don't know why I always say 6. 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. If we love God, he will see that we love him through our actions. Through our actions is how we love our 1 John 3 and 18. Let me get there real quick. There's the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18. Tying right into that. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. If we want to love him, we have to love him through our actions. The same love that he tells us in 1 John 5 and 3 by keeping the commandments. Because he wants us to be a light to our people. He wants us to represent him properly. Yeah. Nowadays we just, if you carry yourself believing that you just, you know, it's all faith alone, that means you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can do whatever you want, and you don't have to, regardless of the matter, if you just have faith, you're gonna be saved. I can go sleep with this man's wife, but I know deep down in my heart, if I have faith, I'm gonna be saved. That's not holding you under a certain rule and a certain code of conduct that's gonna actually show that you love God, because you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but then that's giving an excuse that you can constantly keep doing the same thing over.
Exactly, as long as I have faith.
And Salakia, that mindset.
But you know what? It's crazy that you mentioned. I have heard some people say the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that mindset can transition over to your child. That's why we got so many badass kids out here now.
See, I've been going to church, and I have church people.
These little white kids, they how they raised them, it's like, oh, do what you want, and whatever you do, hey, it's like they raise a dog with raising their own kids.
The increase of careless society is getting worse and worse as time goes on.
And it's even worse when we're careless amongst each other, but we don't want to actually show love to one another. Now, this is the last book of the Bible. This is the last book. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So it's about keeping the commandments and also having faith in Christ, because right now we're not able, I say keep the commandments to the best of your ability, but we're not able to keep all the commandments because we don't have a temple.
How will we be able to show love to one another without materialistic things?
Without materialistic things? Let me show you. Give me Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 11. Without materialistic things. Let me show you what love is according to the Bible. I showed you how love is keeping the commandments. I'm gonna show you what it looks like for us to love our people. Yeah. Now, whenever I tell you this, I want you to think, if we actually did this, how much better would our community be?
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
This is something that the Lord requires of us. We can't lie to each other, we can't steal from each other, and we can't deal falsely with each other. Jump to 16. We imagine how better of a condition we would be in if we did not lie, steal, or deal falsely amongst one another. We'll be in a better condition. Now let's get another one, 16.
This is 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
We're not supposed to be gossiping amongst one another. Keep reading.
Neither exactly. Shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
Now, when it comes to standing against the blood of your neighbor, if you see your brother's life is in danger, you have to step in and stop that from happening. If we as a people came together, all those times our people was unjustly killed, if we actually came together as a people and stood together and told them to stop.
What was that, Montgomery, Ohio or something? If we all came together like that nigga swimming in the ocean, we would have been out here. We would have been out of here.
But we don't know how to stick together. When our people's life is in danger, we'll just, hey man, it's not me, I gotta take care of me. I can't really jump in. I don't want to, I don't want no problems.
AC-12, dude.
Oh, well, I'm scared of the cops. The cops would actually stop doing what they're doing if they actually saw us stand together as a people and demand them to stop right then and there. If we wasn't so attracted in it, wanting to do it with our phones and just like, look at that, they know you're not gonna do anything. They know you're not. But if they see that you're serious about them, that brother, or that sister, or that child, brother, they can't do shit about it. They're gonna have to stop. Exactly.
They can hit you in the face. If you hit them back in China, they jumping you.
They jumping your ass.
They jumping your ass.
They
Even
getting
if
on
they
you.
in the wrong or not, they jumping.
But we don't have that mentality. If somebody hitting on our brother or our sister, we just, hey man, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yo,
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
What y'all doing, man?
Teaching the Bible.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You believe in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
How did Christ say we get to the kingdom?
Sir?
How did Christ say we get to the kingdom? Like, how do we get to heaven?
Through Jesus Christ. We're repenting for our sins. Going through Jesus.
You're right. Now, go ahead and get that Matthew 19 and 16. If you have any questions, don't mind asking.
It's gonna come from it.
I bet. Matthew 19
Matthew
and 16.
chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Now, this is somebody coming to Christ asking him, Christ, how can I actually get to the kingdom? What do I have to do? What did Christ say?
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
And if we want to get to heaven, we have to keep the commandments. Now you refer to a specific term called sin. When Christ told us to keep the commandments, let's see what sin is according to the Bible. There's the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgress also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. Now I just read to him Leviticus 19 and 11. Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not steal, neither shalt thou deal falsely one to another. If we keep those things, we will be in a better condition. We will be keeping the commandments. But if we break them, if we want to steal from each other, if we want to lie to each other, if we want to deal falsely with each other, if we want to gossip amongst each other, if we see our brother's life is in danger and we don't want to do anything, that's us sinning. So in order for us to actually get to the kingdom of heaven, we have to show a certain type of love amongst one another in order for us to actually get there. That's exactly why he said the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Right.
It's on us for us to actually bring, how my younger generation say, manifest it, because it's through our actions.
Right, church. Some people say they don't go to church because the church is in them. No, hold on, how am I trying to say it?
Church is like a temple.
Right, your body.
We are
right?
the church.
Right,
exactly. Right here, this is the church.
Right, correct.
Give me Acts 7 to 49. You can get that one. When it comes to people like to put emphasis on the church as in the building, not realizing that
Church and I ain't mean to break you up.
Now you're good.
Right, when they say the church, they always refer to the pastor, the deacons, and like the people of the church, which makes the church wicked. That doesn't make a person. You go like how I was taught. Like you go to church to receive the message that the Lord has sent through the pastor.
That's
correct.
exactly most people, yeah.
Okay, so by people saying that the church is wicked and the church,
it's not necessarily about the church being wicked. It's about the leadership of the church
exactly. That's
being
what I'm
wicked.
saying. So I look at.
I got Acts 7.
I look at it like church is like a buffet. You see what I'm saying? If you go to eat my biscuit and you don't like the biscuit, then you don't have to eat it. And you go to another breakfast spot, you can go to Cracker Barrel, and if you like that biscuit there, then
Churches
you go sit there and eat that
most of these
biscuit.
churches.
You see what I'm saying? But the spirit, like a person who
most people say
supposed
you
to
get
run
beat
the
on.
church,
501c3.
a person who supposedly is the pastor of the church, the spirit will lead him to speaking the true word of God. Is that correct? No?
They don't teach that in the church. They teach you religion.
Okay.
Religion is not something, because a lot of our people, when we deal with the Bible, a lot of us look at the Bible as if it's Christianity, not realizing this Bible, this is compiled records of history, of events, of chronicles of a specific people and their history and their experiences with their God. But religion, they take the Bible and they appropriate it to themselves, and they stick with only certain scriptures to create their doctrine and then teach that to everybody. But they don't read the Bible from front to back. They rather stick in the middle and only deal all the way to the end. Now, when it comes to the church, let me get two scriptures real quick.
Right.
Let me get two. Get that. Acts 7:49.
This is Acts chapter 7, verse 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet.
He doesn't dwell in buildings made with hands. The land, is that Acts 7:49?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me read this now. Acts 3:49.
Heaven is my throne,
Heaven is his throne.
and earth is my footstool.
The earth is not able to contain the Father's substance. He's outside the realm of time. The earth, that's why he always sends his angels and his celestial beings to do his bidding. The earth can't contain him. He's too magnificent and too glorious and too immaculate for the earth to actually hold him. Now, when it comes to
Exodus 22.
Exodus 22, exactly. Now, this is Acts chapter 7 and verse 38 when it comes to the church. Acts 7 and 38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers, who received the lively oracles, the law, and gave them to us. Now, who was in the wilderness with the Israelites? Moses. When Moses brought the children of Israel out of Egypt, they had to dwell in the wilderness for 40 years.
Okay, not for okay.
So, but right there is calling us the church in the wilderness.
Right.
The people are the church. When we come together to learn about the word, that's the church. But we're so, nowadays when you look at the average Christian, we're more so deal with traditions rather than the Bible. It's more about what's traditional.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's the traditional thing. But I wanted to pull this real quick when it comes to, because when it comes to the pastors, they're supposed to teach the word, they're supposed to do miracles and heal the people and be there for the people and this and that. Let's see what Christ says.
I believe in a pastor that teaches out. When I go to church, I look for a pastor that teaches out of the Bible.
I'm not saying they don't teach out of the Bible, but they don't necessarily deal with the Bible in its context.
I wasn't saying you were saying
Okay.
That's what I look for.
Most definitely. That's what you're supposed to look for.
Speaks out of the Bible. Whether some people have different Bibles, that's where I get lost. Like I grew up in a Baptist church. That's what you're saying. They're baptized and everything.
Yeah, you gotta get baptized. Yeah.
So I believe in the King James. That's the Bible that I can understand, the King James version. You see what I'm saying?
Let me get this real quick. There's the book of Matthew chapter 10, and this is what Christ says. Red letter. Matthew chapter 10 and verse, 7. As ye go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses. Whenever you go and teach the word, you're not supposed to be requiring money out of the people. Tithing is a law. But if you're going to say the law is done away with, you cannot tithe. That's what Christ says. You're supposed to teach the word without anything, specifically for the people. This is why a lot of us had to get out of the church, because the people who teaching the word, trying to follow after God, they're being hypocrites when they out in the world.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to put this pastor on Front Street, but down the street here, within the city limits of College Park on Main Street, it's a church, bro. And when I went to that church, once he did his word, bro, it's true.
Yeah.
Once they finished counting the tithes or whatever they picked up for that service, they specifically got on the microphone and said, y'all dig into y'all wallets and purses. They made jokes about it, but he was like, dig in there and pick up a little more, because they said they had a bill that was due, so they were trying to pay that bill. So is that? I just felt like that was. I was like, nah, I ain't
Talking about the
never
tithe thing?
been- Yeah, once they collected their offerings and their tithes, after they counted it up, they asked for a little bit more change.
Yeah, but a lot of us eat that up, bro.
Oh man, you should've
Pastors
seen
pastors
the people
can be
that-
charismatic.
They went
They
in
can
there,
be all
yeah.
loving and kind.
They went in there
But
wallets and pockets and
Yeah,
dug for more
yeah.
money for him. I just didn't think that. I never
Oh,
seen a
man.
pastor. I never been in a church that did.
let me
that.
read this real
Past,
quick.
I was guilty of doing that once upon a time.
Asking,
Did that for nah, like
giving
giving
more.
more. But like
Exactly.
once you in there, they get to know you. They know
Right.
certain people got a good heart.
Right.
And I done seen people be behind their bills just because
To pay.
Yeah, yeah.
help out them and thinking that
You gotta sow that seed.
help.
Now let me read this real quick. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 45. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. You have to look at their actions and how they carry themselves to determine whether they are good or whether they are bad. And if you look at their actions and you parallel with that with the Bible, well, you're not supposed to be doing that, but they don't actually deal with it. They just make excuses. That's not somebody you're supposed to be following. Just like, for example, in the Christianity, in the Christian church, they say God loves everybody. That's not true. That may be a heavy hitter, but that's not true.
Right.
Let me show you something. Matter of fact, we can start with the basic. Give me Romans 9 and 13. Romans 9 and 13. This is the epistle of Paul to the Romans. Because a lot of us, when we go to church, they instill certain things into us. And they teach us certain things. So if you tell somebody something growing up all their life, they're going to automatically believe it's true. Even if they don't know where to go to actually prove it. They know in their heart it's true. It's true, but can you show me? No, but I know it's true. A lot of us, we have to shake that. And we have to actually go to the Bible and prove what's right and what's good. Get that.
This is Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Now, it says, as it is written. This is Paul quoting from another prophet. You already know, Malachi. He's quoting from the prophet Malachi because at that time, you got to understand, the epistles of Paul, they didn't have the epistles of Paul in his time. All his letters that he wrote to the church, they didn't have Revelations. They didn't have 1 John, 2 John. All they had was what we call the Old Testament. That's what they were living by. That's what they was going off of. So what he did, he quoted from the Old Testament to let people know and let people realize that the God that y'all perceive him to be is not necessarily him. Read that.
This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 3.
Start at 1.
Chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi.
The burden of the word of the Lord. This lets you know that this is the Lord that's going to talk by the mouth of Malachi. Keep reading.
I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Why do you love us? Isn't Esau our brother too? Isn't Esau our brother? Keep reading.
Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Now, when it comes to his heritage, when you look at a civilization, if you destroy a civilization and you just leave it there, the plants and all the animals are going to take over. They're going to be all over the place. That's what it means. He's going to destroy their civilizations and their places. Keep reading.
It says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Man, we're in a stricken state. We're in a messed up state. We are poor. We're gonna go back and we're gonna build up our place again. That's what they said. Keep reading.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord,
The people. Keep reading.
the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
These are the people that the Lord has indignation forever. Forever. And guess who they are? Because you can't find Chinese in the Bible. You can't find Japanese in the Bible. You can't find
No.
Brazilian, Colombian. You can't find that in the Bible. Guess who they are? Just take a wild guess. Hell nah.
The Israelites?
We are the Israelites. But we are Jacob. We're the sons of Jacob, the 12 patriarchs. Going by your father, patrilineal speaking. The Edomites are the people that come from the Caucasus Mountains. Esau, the Edomites. Give me Genesis 27 and... Yeah, go ahead and get that.
This is Genesis chapter 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Now there are, believe it or not, but they're our brothers. Now when I say our brothers, I'm not saying they're you know, they love us like brothers, they love us like their own people. There's two nations in the womb, but
They
we
like ancient brothers or something like.
they're more closely related to us than anybody else.
We came from the same womb.
Yes, we came from the same womb.
That's what it is.
Our forefather and their forefather, we all came from the same womb. Keep reading.
It says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called Jacob. Now, when Esau came out, he came out a reddish color because he came out pale. When you look at the regular African American baby, a regular dark skinned baby, they don't come out red.
Is
Now-
it, something that, what they call it, albino or something?
Now you can say albino, but there's still two different nations.
Oh.
Not aboriginal.
So where the albino thing come from? It's still
Albino, even though they're albino, they're still our people. They can't. You could say they came out albino, but there's still two. There's still two different nations in the womb of Rebecca. Was it Rachel or Rebecca? Rebecca. All right, cool. Rebecca. There's still two nations in that womb. One came out red, and another came out regular, like all of us. Now, there's a certain blessing that Esau got. First, he gave his birthright. He sold his birthright for a bowl of some porridge, and then Jacob took his blessing. You got that? Go ahead and get that.
This is Genesis chapter 27, verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
Now this is the blessing. This is the blessing to Esau. By your sword, you're going to live. Keep reading.
And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Now, when the times come, when this whole kingdom is destroyed, believe it or not, but we're going to be set back on high because we got the covenant, we got the promises. But because we broke the covenant and the promises, that's why the Lord put us in this condition. But the very same people who brought us into slavery, they're going to actually go into slavery. Yes. They're going to go into slavery, and you can go ahead and get that Revelation. For all of this that they did to us, they're going to get. Now some of the things that they did to us, like buck breaking and stuff like that, we ain't gonna do that because we have to keep the law. We ain't gonna be doing certain things that they did to us, but they're gonna be in slavery. Go ahead and get that.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Will they women be ours too?
Bro, to be honest with you, when
Not
we're
trying to
in the
make a joke
kingdom,
about it, but-
when we're in the kingdom, we're not gonna want them. We're gonna have
nasty.
multiple women. We're gonna have multiple women, and our women are not gonna be carrying themselves in the mindset that they're carrying themselves now.
Right.
So you're not necessarily going to even want them because they're going to be filthy, they're going to be dirty, they're going to be disgusting.
Imagine having
And
your enemy in your house.
exactly.
But shouldn't it be a division between, you know what I'm saying, the women that serving God, and not just because of their
All of
skin
them,
color,
all of them are going to be forced to serve our God.
Right.
Every
Or
nation, when Christ's kingdom comes,
what that is?
Or die.
or die.
Okay.
Or-
Okay.
Whenever Christ comes back-
just because they got brown skin, they don't mean that they can just go to heaven just because they say that they
Yeah,
Israelites,
believe it
right?
or not, I'm gonna pull the scripture first, and then I might as well tell you, Drake, his son. Have you seen Drake's son?
Nah,
The dude's practically white, but Drake's father is black, quote unquote. We don't call ourselves black as a color.
yeah.
He's African American, so that means Drake is an Israelite. So what does that mean? His son, even though he's white as hell, he is an Israelite, like Steph Curry.
His
And
son is-
color doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
You can go to a corner store and that gook is darker than you, but is he called an African American? Is he subject under certain things that you're subject under? No. Color doesn't mean a damn thing. It's not about color. So even in the kingdom, there, like nowadays, you'll find brothers that look like you. They got a white grandpa. They're not our people. Color don't mean nothing. Now let me read this to you. You're gonna love this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy. Now this is the end. Whenever Christ does come and establish his kingdom,